Man, Spirit really thinks that everything. Ace of Swords. For months, I've been trying to figure out how exactly I'm going to epoxy my lantern. That was my plan. I was going to, if you know what it is, you know what it is. I was going to seal the entire thing in epoxy and make like a Beauty and the Beast like dome. And I was just going to make sure it didn't break. Because that's what happened the first time. The first time I made an energetic receptacle, ancestral touchstone, it shattered. And how I ended up fixing that, should we just go over there? Yeah. Queen of Swords confirmation. How I ended up fixing that was by taking my favorite rock. It was about the size of my palm. From when I was a kid. And I put it inside the lantern. This is the lantern. There we go. I put it inside the lantern and I built a pyramid out of the shattered glass. Might be able to see it. So, shattered glass. You see it? There's a lot more underneath of feathers. Those little wish bottles from those kids. Well, underneath of all of that stuff is a pyramid of shattered glass from the original mirror. And what I have decided to do because, you know, this whole situation with the regalia has been building up to something, right? It started off getting a sword, not knowing why I was getting a sword. And then divine inspiration, the mirror. And then the Chintamani. The wish-fulfilling gem as the meteorite. And it occurred to me tonight that in order to tie it all together, in order to tie it to the ancestors, I was going to have to incorporate the lantern. So what I think I'm going to do, Hierophant, I think I'm going to take a shard of old mirror, original mirror. It's been sitting in the lantern this entire time as I made my sacrifices, when I gave up smoking, when I gave up drinking, when I gave up the gift for the twin flame. You know, it's the medical band that represented my life. The innocent wishes of children. Everything in there. This whole journey has been building. And the energy, the mirror, the lantern became an ancestral touchstone. A representation of everything that we've gone through, everything that we've given up, everything that we have trusted Spirit with. So, these gifts from Spirit, again with the sword of wisdom, sword of discernment. I usually take the Page of Swords to mean watching, seeing how things go. I think I'm going to take a shard of the original mirror and I'm going to grind it up into a powder. And I'm going to mix that with some kind of epoxy or resin or the clear coat maybe that I'm going to be using on the meteor. So I'll have to dissolve the black off so that it's just glass. And then grind it up and then form it into a layer around the meteorite. I can put it as a small layer underneath of the handle of the sword. So that way if I ever wanted to get a new saya, the sheath, the scabbard, then I could do that, because I don't think I'm going to keep the original the original sheath forever. Confirmation. The sheath will probably be replaced. So my original idea was maybe putting a shard down at the bottom inside of like some fabric and gluing it down at the bottom of the saya and putting a shard behind the mirror, but there was no way to apply it to the meteorite. I think if I'm doing powdered mirror fragments, then it all connects. So that's what I've been doing tonight. I've been thinking about how I'm going to apply this. I know powdered glass is bad for you to breathe. It can get in your eyes. I'm going to be careful. Whatever. But I knew from the moment that I ordered the sword that it was meant to be passed down. And the only things that make this stuff special is what it means to us. That's the truth. That what it means to you is what makes it powerful. The love you put into it, the craftsmanship that you pour into it. Craftsmanship, what? The craftsmanship that you put into these objects. Your regalia. Your spiritual touchstones. And again, I was going to epoxy my lantern and hope that it didn't break. But I think Spirit's intention is to transfer the energy. Yeah, with Ten of Cups and Magician. I think Spirit wants future generations. Spirit wants me to be able to pass down the spiritual touchstone, the ancestral lineage, what's the word I used to use? The ancestral well, which I think technically I got that term from magicians, the New Orleans witches. Most of their spiritual practices, their magic was ancestral. And their ancestral well was the graveyard. My concept's a little different. And it's much more intricate in symbolism than just the resting place of the dead. But I think powdered mirror fragments, all in physical connection, adhered permanently to the three objects. That would tie everything together. That would result in the fusion that we were talking about earlier, where I was seeing just molten metal, two pieces of iron just fused together, symbolically, spiritually, in perfect connection and union. So, these three objects that are not terribly special by themselves will be the new representation of the ancestral line. And you know, something the Reckoning Company said the other day about the King of Swords representing spiritual authority. I think that is what I'm going to take with that King of Swords pull, not a masculine, but taking up the mantle. In this scenario, we are that King of Swords. For our family line, generational curse breakers. The ones who create. So, I guess this message is about thinking about how you're connecting, what your representations are, what can you pass down,